I'm Eric, and this is the Powers Play. So, last year, I made an entire list of all 32 teams and my expectations / predictions of how their season is going to turn out. Every single one, AFC, NFC. And I didn't get a chance to get this out because I didn't have the channel then. Really didn't have anyone to speak to about it except, a couple people I text. So I took those down, but I also did this year. So I'm gonna go over last year's and we're gonna talk about how those turned out real quick, and then I'll go into how I expect this year's to turn out. We're gonna start with the AFC in part 1. Part 2 will be the NFC. Okay, so we're gonna start with the AFC South. Starting with the Colts. And last year, I was saying it's always going to be about Andrew Luck. Well, how that turned out, Andrew Luck freaking retired like literally a couple weeks or a week before the season started. So that's how that went. My expectations for the Colts this year, not much. They brought in Phillip Rivers for, I guess, a year or two. I think they're hoping to get lucky. The team doesn't have any real direction right now. I think Phillip Rivers retires, they're going to start from the rock bottom. I don't expect much right now. So next I got the Texans. And last year I was looking for if they were a playoff team. Is Deshaun Watson ready to take the next step? And come to find out, yes, he is definitely ready to take the next step. He took the next step. They're definitely a playoff team. I believe they ran into the Titans. Unfortunately. Yeah, and that cost them Derrick Henry. But this year, my expectations, well, what I'm looking for is Deshaun, how is he going to cope with D-Hop not being there? I don't understand how the coach get rid of one of the best receivers in football. Don't know what he's doing. Nonetheless, I still feel as though it's their division to lose. Got the Jags now. Last year, man, I was hyped because they had Nick Foles coming in. I was like, man, they might actually, get back to like the AFC Championship game. Nope.
Mama's wrong again.
He got hurt. He got hurt like the first play of the game, and then, Minshew Mania started. He did his thing, became a little star, so now this year, just looking to see what he can do. Can he grow on this team in that offense, with not much to work with? How good is he? There's not really much there. I don't expect much. And then we have the Titans. Last year, I was looking for Marcus Mariota to show me something, and he did not. It turned out to be his last chance. Ryan Tannehill took over and helped them get to the AFC Championship game. I wouldn't say he was out there beating teams, but he wasn't losing any games. Derrick Henry, of course, we all saw it. Derrick Henry was literally running roughshod through the end of the season, through the playoffs, all the way to the AFC Championship game. So I'm looking to see if will their scheme work again, because everyone's going to see it coming now. Or will Ryan Tannehill have to actually play quarterback? So we'll see. Next, we got the AFC North. We have the Steelers. Last year, I was looking for to see how good would they be without the Killer Bees. Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, with Bell going to the Jets, Brown doing Brown things. How good would they be, seeing as though they were putting it on Juju Smith and James Conner, I believe. So turned out answer, nope, because Ben Roethlisberger got hurt and they had to roll with Mason Rudolph. So we'll see what happens this year. I'm looking for them to bounce back. How much of a bounce back, we don't know. Juju Smith too, because he cost me in fantasy last year and I picked him again, so hopefully he won't let me down. And can they compete with the Ravens? We got the Ravens now, on to the Ravens. Last year I was looking for Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram. Were they a playoff team? They turned out to be the best team in football in the regular season anyway. They ran roughshod over the league, literally ran the ball. Lamar won MVP. I look crazy for even doubting them. Mark Ingram was good for that offense. Doesn't look like he's going anywhere. He was on my fantasy team in the flex starting this week, so we'll see what happened. But they turned out to be one and done in the playoffs for the second year in a row. I don't think it's a big deal. People are making a big deal out of Lamar Jackson being one and done in the playoffs twice. The year before last, he took over the team in the middle of the season, got them to the playoffs, and lost as a rookie. And this past season, he won the league MVP. Ran into the Titans like the other teams did in the AFC. They ran into the Titans, and Derrick Henry ran into them. It happens. He'll be fine. We'll see what happens this year. We'll see if we're looking for them to win a playoff game this year. Let's see. No, the Browns, that's when year before last, it was either Super Bowl or bust, right? Everybody was saying, oh man, they got Odell joined with Landry and Baker and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And the list goes on. So it was Super Bowl or bust, right? It was bust. They were not that good. Blame the coach, to make a very long story short. He's an enabler. He didn't coach these dudes, period. He didn't coach them. He let them do whatever they want. So this year, they have a new coach coming in. A real coach from Minnesota, offensive-minded. They have a good offense, of course. I'm looking for them to finally actually be the team that they were supposed to be the year before last. They are in a tough-ass division, though, so I don't expect them to do too much. And in that division, especially with Big Ben healthy and the Ravens being who they are. And then we have the Bengals. Year before last, I was looking at the new direction they were going with the new coach. They have some talent there. I think the Bengals always had some talent, man. For a while, even when they had Dalton, it was Green, Tyler Eifert, John Ross. You had the two running backs, Giovanni Bernard. I can't remember the other dude. But that offense was nice. I just don't understand why they couldn't pull it together. So they didn't pull it together the year before last, and now this season coming up, I'm looking to see how they do with Joe Burrow, of course. He's part of one of the greatest offenses in college football. They got another new coach, I believe, new direction. So we'll see what they do. Don't expect them to do too much in the division, but I don't expect them to be super trash. Who knows? That's one of them we'll see. We'll see how bad they are. So, AFC East. Patriots, year before last. I said they'll be the Patriots. I'm not worried. So that turned out to be, yeah and no. They were the Patriots, but they weren't, because they were one and done against the Titans. Again, another team that ran into the Titans. So Brady was cool, but he wasn't great. So this year, I'm looking for them, of course, Cam. They got Cam now. Um, can Cam be his best self? Uh, can he help them at least, stay competitive? So, but I'm expecting them to be a above average team. They had a lot of dudes opt out. Um, but that's just how the Patriot system works. They plug and play dudes, a lot of them. So we'll see what they do. They'll be above average. Jets, looking at Darnold the year before last, paired with Le'Veon Bell. Will they take the team in the right direction? So he went 6-7 as a starter, average, but he was better the year before. Better than the year before that, I should say. Bell wasn't special. Won 3 more games than the year before. So he's adding. He is growing. It's just a little slow, I think. He'll win. He won a few more games than he did in his rookie year. Numbers were a little bit higher. So we'll see if he can take a bigger step. Who knows? It's football. You just never know. We'll see what the whole team do. I think they got Frank Gore over there. I'll be looking at him to see if he can get 1,000 yards. Just keep climbing the all-time rushing record. Not expecting much from them. It's the Jets. They're just not ready. The Dolphins, year before last, I was asking, is this the next Ryan Fitzpatrick show? I think we're definitely going to see Josh Rosen at some point. And, yeah, it was the Ryan Fitzpatrick show, pretty much. They beat the Pats in Week 17, won a game-winning drive from him. Made the Pats, I believe, the 5th seed. They could have been a 2nd, so that was crazy. Did see Josh Rosen, and I think about 3 games. He lost every single one of them. His numbers were trash, so I don't know what's up with him. He's on to the next team. So now what I'm looking for this year, Tua, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick got the start. So, well, you know the cycle of Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's going to come out firing. He's going to throw for 400 yards the first 3-4 games and then look like, Elvis Gerbach or something. After that, 100 yards and 5 picks, and it's going to be so bad he's going to get benched. Tua's going to come in. So we'll be looking to see if he can, really take the keys to the car. There is some talent around him. I like the coach. I really like the coach. The division isn't as top heavy as it used to be. So I think they can win 8 games. I do, and that's a success. And then we got the Bills. Year before last, I was asking, can Josh Allen improve? And yeah, he turned out to be the real deal in my opinion. He should be around for a long time with them. He's a beast. So this year, I'm looking to see how him and Diggs will gel. They already got a really good defense. I think everyone's expecting them to win the division. So, yeah, I don't see why not. Not much competition there unless the Patriots are still the Patriots somehow. And we have the AFC West. On to the West. So, year before last, I said they had got Antonio Brown in there, Derek Carr, John Gruden, but will they be good though? Time to find out. AB never made it. He just never made it. Bounced around, got suspended, all types of stuff happened with him. It just never worked out. Derek Carr was still an average dude. The team was still average. I was expecting them to be average, and they turned out to be average. And that's what happens when you put a team on Hard Knocks. If your team is on Hard Knocks, you're screwed, period. You're going to win 7 to 9 games, no more, no less. So just expect that. Rams, Chargers, both of them on Hard Knocks right now. 7 to 9 games max. So on to the Chargers. The year before last, I had these dudes going to the Super Bowl. Me and Shannon Sharp, actually. Shannon Sharp had them going to the Super Bowl too because they had a squad. They were solid. They're solid on defense, solid on offense. And the year before that, I had them going, and I said, let's try it again, and it just didn't work. So, man, what did I say? So, I mean, this year, who knows? They're not going to the Super Bowl. I know that because they don't even have a definite quarterback. Tyrod Taylor is going to get the start. He's not a dude that's going to win you a bunch of games. He's a placeholder. I think he knows that. Justin Herbert, we'll see. We'll see what he can do, because he will be playing. He will be playing by probably week 6. It's inevitable. Yep. So, and we have the Broncos. Season before last, I was asking, is Joe Flacco the answer? Hell no. Hell no. He was trashed. He was benched in favor of Drew Lock. Drew Lock has a really high ceiling. I think he can be really good. His numbers were actually pretty good for the few games he was in. He got, I think they got Jerry Jeudy now. So their offense is starting to get a young core. So I'll be watching. I don't expect them to win too many games. Von Miller got hurt like yesterday, so that's messed up. But I think he won't mind. He's a vet with a ton of money. He'll live on a team that's not expected to win, so he'll live. And then we got the Chiefs. And we got to this faster than I thought. Hope I'm not speeding through it. I'm not really a fast talker, but hopefully I'm not speeding through this. So yeah, the Chiefs, man. I'm a 49ers fan, first of all, if y'all don't know. So I was asking the season before last, can they replicate what they did last year and go further / Super Bowl? And because they went to the AFC Championship, played the Patriots, and lost. And so, I mean, everyone was looking at them anyway, and so was I. So, like, can they do it again? And that's exactly what they did last season. They won the Super Bowl. They beat the 49ers. Broke my heart. And, I'll speak on the 49ers in the next video. Man, that team is good. They're good. Pat Mahomes is really good, too good. That offense is fast, is just as advertised. The offensive line is straight. The defense is very underrated, very underrated. I think they tend to play a little lax because they have the lead so much, They're always up two scores, So don't hate on the Chiefs defense. I think is underrated. If we're constantly up by 20 points, some of us might take our foot off the gas, especially in the backfield. Those guys up front, they supposed to pin their ears back, go after quarterback. We get it. That's Chris Jones got the shine. So we're looking for them to see if they can repeat. They're good enough to. Hell, they might be even unbeatable. Who knows? Pat Mahomes was hurt a few games, so we'll see what happens. And that's it for the AFC. I'm expecting it to be a 2-horse race, to be honest. The Chiefs and the Ravens. Both of those teams were around last year. Ravens didn't get too far. I expect them to go a little further. They got Calais Campbell now up front on defense, so it only makes them better. The rich got richer, and they got Lamar Jackson cheap for it right now, so they definitely trying to strike. The Chiefs are going to be around. It doesn't matter who they play, You got that dude, Pat Mahomes. He's bad. He's a bad man. Yeah, I don't see really anyone else competing with them. There may be some other good teams that get double-digit wins, 11, maybe even 12 wins, but circumstance, they in the right division, they played the right teams, you know, and they reeled off 12 wins, but not that they're not good, they're just not those guys. So we'll see what happens. Catch you on the next video, okay? NFC. Thanks.